How PMOI resistance units are shaping Iran's democratic future. Iran stands at a pivotal moment in its history. Between December 2017 and September 2022, 6 nationwide uprisings swept across the country, illuminating the Iranian people's burning desire to overthrow the clerical regime and establish a democratic republic in its place. Chants of "Down with Khamenei" and "No to Shah, no to mullahs" reverberated through the streets, rejecting both the monarchy of the past and the current theocratic rule. This desire has persisted and grown despite 45 years of brutal repression, including widespread torture and executions aimed at crushing dissent. A critical question now faces Iran and those observing its struggle. Which force, strategy, and course of action can successfully topple the current regime and guide Iran toward a democratic future? In the past 6 years, a new phenomenon has emerged that has significantly impacted protests across the country. The PMOI Resistance Units, a network of activists supporting the Iranian opposition movement, the People's Mujahedin Organization of Iran, have played an increasingly visible role. These units represent an organized and motivated force, reflecting the Iranian resistance's long-held belief that genuine change in Iran must come from within, driven by the Iranian people themselves. What sets the resistance units apart is their diversity and broad reach. They are composed of small cells of Iranian activists who have taken a bold stand against the current regime, from the bustling streets of Tehran to the remote regions of Baluchistan, from the oil-rich province of Khuzestan to the mountainous terrain of Azerbaijan. Their ranks include Iranians from all walks of life: students, workers, professionals, and even former regime insiders who have become disillusioned with the system. What unites them is a shared vision: the overthrow of the theocratic dictatorship and the establishment of a democratic, secular republic that respects human rights and individual freedoms. The resistance units engage in a wide range of activities aimed at undermining the regime's authority and inspiring hope among the Iranian people. Key activities of the resistance units include organizing and leading protests. The units coordinate demonstrations and help provide tactical guidance and maintain the momentum of protests. Spreading messages of resistance. Through leaflets, banners, and street activities, they promote slogans of freedom and democracy, breaking the atmosphere of fear imposed by the regime. Commemorating martyrs. They honor those who have sacrificed their lives for Iran's freedom through ceremonies, memorial posters, and social media campaigns. Targeting regime symbols. During protests and separate operations, they focus on destroying images and statues of regime leaders, demystifying the regime's supposed invincibility. Amplifying opposition voices. They spread messages from Iranian resistance leaders, particularly Maryam Rajavi's 10-point plan for a democratic and secular Iran. Documenting and reporting. In a country with restricted independent journalism, they capture and share footage of demonstrations, human rights violations, and daily life under the regime. The impact of the resistance units has been particularly evident in shaping Iran's protest movement since 2017. Their consistent promotion of slogans like "No to Shah, no to mullahs" has helped shape the discourse of the protest movement. One of their most significant achievements has been breaking the barrier of fear that the regime has long relied upon. By consistently challenging the regime despite severe risks, they inspire others to join the struggle. The widespread activities of the resistance units and their dedication to a democratic future for Iran were powerfully demonstrated during the Free Iran 2024 summit, where they sent more than 20,000 messages supporting the Iranian resistance and endorsing Maryam Rajavi's 10-point plan. Through their activities, the resistance units have also played a crucial role in internationalizing the struggle. Their documentation and reporting provide invaluable evidence of the regime's human rights abuses and the Iranian people's desire for change, helping to garner international support for the cause of Iranian freedom. The Iranian regime's escalating concern over the PMOI resistance units has become increasingly evident through official statements and state media coverage. The 2022 nationwide uprising further solidified the regime's perception of the PMOI as an existential threat. Despite the arrest or disappearance of over 3,600 resistance unit members, their influence continued to grow. The regime's reaction to the resistance units goes beyond mere rhetoric. A prime example is the recent sham trial in absentia of 104 PMOI members. This theatrical performance, far from being a legitimate legal proceeding, is a clear expression of the regime's fear and desperation. However, these brutal tactics have only served to strengthen the resolve of the resistance units and their supporters. The PMOI's ability to unite various segments of Iranian society under a common cause of freedom and democracy has clearly rattled the regime. As one regime expert conceded, "Our main issue in the country is the PMOI, and we must address it." For years, the Iranian regime has propagated a narrative that the PMOI lacks popular support within the country. This claim, often echoed by regime sympathizers and some Western policymakers, has been used to justify continued engagement with the current theocratic regime. The expansion of PMOI resistance units across Iran tells a compelling story that contradicts the regime's narrative. As Iran teeters on the brink of widespread social upheaval, the role of the PMOI resistance units has become increasingly pivotal. The Iranian society, aptly described as a powder keg ready to explode at any moment, finds itself with a powerful catalyst in the form of these organized resistance cells spread across the nation. The strategic positioning of PMOI resistance units throughout Iran's diverse social fabric provides a unique advantage. These units serve as the connective tissue that can rapidly transform localized protests into national uprisings. Their presence in various sectors of society, from urban centers to rural areas, within universities, factories, and neighborhoods, allows for swift communication and coordination of protest actions. The decentralized nature of the resistance units makes them particularly resilient to suppression efforts. As these units are dispersed across the country and deeply embedded within different social strata, the regime faces an uphill battle in attempting to neutralize their influence. As the resistance units continue to set the stage for larger uprisings, they are effectively laying the groundwork for a potential overthrow of the current regime. Each successful act of defiance, each coordinated protest, serves as a stepping stone towards the eventual establishment of a democratic republic. Looking to the future, the role of the resistance units is likely to become even more crucial. They are the ultimate testament to the reality that the people of Iran have the capacity to overthrow the mullah's regime and to establish a democratic republic of Iran.
Follow the People's Mujahedin Organization of Iran on YouTube, Facebook, X, and our website.